Okay, Coach, so the snow and rain have stayed out of the forecast, but we're in for a cold afternoon at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Buffalo Bills. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Don't get nervous. Watch the motion.
They run with a former Jaguar. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Out of the pistol, it's Yeldon. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Watch 10. Watch 10.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. First down carry now for Yeldon. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Check 9, check 9.
From the gun, it's Allen. He finds Roberts, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They go back to the ground now with Yeldon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long.
Check 26, check 26.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his 2nd season, James Conner. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
22, 44. Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, watch the ball.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
To return is Roberts. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. That will get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
1st down, Buffalo.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now T.J. Yeldon. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
2 yards on the play. 1st down, Bills.
We're scoreless after 1. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Roberts has it. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 20. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Now on 2nd and 13. Allen finding Knox there, complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First down, Buffalo.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw?
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now it's Yeldon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
To the air, Allen. That one complete to Yeldon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Yeldon was always reliable out of the backfield for Blake Bortles, and now he has a chance to help out another young quarterback in the same way in Josh Allen. But you look at the numbers a season ago, 55 catches, almost 500 yards. Very sure hands for a running back. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders have found their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he stopped behind the line. Right now, I'm just wondering where they turn on offense, Charles. I know we're not in the fourth quarter, but second quarter haven't scored and struggling to move the ball.
I don't think they abandoned the run game totally, but maybe you change up your tempos. Maybe you go a little bit faster, try and catch them back on their heels a little bit to try and accomplish what you want to get done.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
50. 49 the mic. Watch 49. Let's go. Check. Crouch. Alert, alert. Crouch. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Bandit.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time, and it's third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here now, Roberts. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Around the NFL, they're in the second quarter at Lambeau. Early lead in that one for the Packers. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On first down, Allen works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Bills on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Allen. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Check 13.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 2nd down, it's Connor. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready? Black 20.
On 3rd down, here's Samuels. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. This will be taken at the 10. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
I know he ain't got it. These two. He's checking crack.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch the pass. 26 Mike, 26 Mike. All day, dog. 26 Mike, 26 Mike. Check pass.
Here's Allen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. He'll get this one to Switzer. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. No go.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 to score as they regroup with 1st and 10. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
There we go.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle. Throwing on second and long. Allen working the middle here. That's complete to Knox, the tight end. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it, and this is incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to them.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Allen now throwing on 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Switzer on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, 3rd quarter now in Lambeau. And that one, all Packers right now. They've scored again. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
Hey, Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Hey, check Mike 50.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Check 50, check both of them. Easy, easy. Hey, wahoo. 50, Mike, 50. Let's go, D.
Now Roethlisberger under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Matt Milano in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger.
Alert, alert. 50's the mark. 50's the mark. Take 2 of them.
Here's Roethlisberger. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And here's Allen to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And he's into the clear. 30, 20, 10, 5, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, an even 90 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Quarter. Go.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
180. Solid, 5 down. He's coming, double up. Alert.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. It's caught by Moncrief. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Check.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Allen will try again on 2nd down. And that's complete to Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. Brown signed with the Bills in March. Last year he was in Baltimore, 4 seasons in Arizona prior to that, but they're hoping that Brown can add a lot of speed to this offense, which he should. Last year in Baltimore, 715 yards and 5 touchdowns. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Exit. I got deep third. Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Let's go. Alert 3. Check. Lucky. Check 31.
On 1st down, Connor trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
44.
41-yard line.
50's the mine. All right. Here we go. Let's go.
Hey, Haywood.
Let's get there. Check.
22, 44.
Throwing on 2nd down. Roethlisberger going deep to the end zone for Juju. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the interception by the Steeler D leads to a touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Fielded about a yard deep. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Allen going to throw. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. and reading your keys. You always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. He's going to go deep for Beasley. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing is Allen on third. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And it is incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on fourth down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
Like 20. Like 50. Don't let him breathe.
They'll run on first down. It's Connor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Brian Burns in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. So the sack, and now a third and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger.
Check your hot read.
Jack 16.
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. The officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A good start to the drive. That's caught out on the left side. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beat.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Allen. And the grab by Croft. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Here's Samuels again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Steelers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Mike 50. Strip the ball.
Hey, seam 6.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And his kick is indeed good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. A big offensive explosion.